So it is the start of a new weekly reading vlog. It is week 3 of the bookie trials, for JUNKIE trials. I am currently uploading last week's vlog. I got home from work. Sadly, I have no packages. I was expecting some. I'm a bit sad about it. But I'm currently in the middle of Deceptive by Emily Lloyd-Jones, 7 Surrenders by Ada Palmer, and Space Opera by Catherine and Valente. They're my 3 current reads, and I'm listening to The Alchemist on audiobook, which is where we cut off from last week. I might have to duck into work for a bit tonight, but I'm going to try and read as much as I can. I'm going to start with Space Opera, which I read like half a chapter of while away today in my lunch break. It's 11 o'clock at night. But I just finished 60 pages of Deceptive, and I did manage to get through 70 pages of Space Opera tonight. I haven't touched 7 Surrenders, but I'm going to go to bed. We did watch quite a bit of Glee, which did eat into my time, but and I have a pretty busy day tomorrow, but I think I could get in some reading while at work in my break and stuff. And then when I have work, then I have a little bit of care shift work, and then we're going to a trivia night, and then I'm back at the care shift work. So I should ideally be able to get some reading done very late in the evening once I'm at work for the night. And I'm thinking I'm going to work on 7 Surrenders tomorrow. So I'll try and get through as much of Space Opera during the workday as I can, and then read 7 Surrenders at work in the evening. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated, but for now, on this boring day in which I did not much, and I received no packages, even though I'm expecting packages, I'm gonna go to bed. Alright, bye. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning. I'm super busy today, so I don't know how much time I'll get to spend in front of the camera, but just before I go to work, I thought I would kind of talk about what I'm thinking of the books I'm currently reading, because I feel like I haven't done that this vlog, and I am like 60 to 70% through 3 of my 4 reads at the moment, so I'm kind of at a good spot to talk about my current thoughts, if that makes sense. So, what am I currently reading? Deceptive is what I have in front of me. So by Emily Lloyd-Jones. This is the sequel to Elusive, and it's like it's kind of similar to the Villain series. It's got essentially there was a vaccine produced for a disease that was going around, but that vaccine has a side effect of creating a series of superpowers. There's like 7 or 8 different types you can have. So you could be an illusionist, an eidos, so like an eidetic memory, levitas, levitating, like there's a handful of different ones. And so it's looking at like the way the community functions with these superpowered people. They call them immunes, and so like only a portion of people vaccinated get these side effects, but enough that the world has a lot of them, and they normally either become criminals or work for the government, because obviously when you've got these powers you feel inclined to do something with them. And so we follow a cast of characters, and in this particular installment it kind of stands separate from the first one while carrying on some themes and carrying on with characters, but it is like a self-contained plot, if that makes sense. And we're following kind of a mystery of people going missing, and especially immune people going missing, and there's also some shootings that have been happening, and our main character Sierra from the first book is trying to solve a shooting, and she works for a crime syndicate. And then we also follow a couple of characters she used to know, one who is that were vaguely mentioned in the first book, one who's been picked up by essentially like the CIA for finding and controlling these people, the immune people, which is run by immunes, but is like the government agency in charge of like monitoring immunes. Because obviously it's effed up. And then the other one works for the FBI, I think, solving crimes. And all of them have immune powers, and they all kind of come together in different threads to try, they're all kind of solving the same problem, but they don't know they're also solving the same problem, if that makes sense. But you can kind of tell they're all linking together. It's really well written, really fast paced. I read Elusive years ago, so I very much appreciate having it be standalone plot, so I didn't feel like I was like, what's going on? Because the plot is cleared to here, and they've done a good job of explaining, because I think it was quite a few years between the two books releasing, of kind of explaining the world and stuff, which is great. I think it's faster paced than I remember Elusive being. I remember Elusive dragging a little bit, but this I don't think is at all. It's super fast paced, super going through. I feel like one thing I'm noticing is that the kind of like the stakes and the thought processes for each of the characters aren't always well explained. Like, Siam makes some jumps that didn't feel developed enough. But only because it was like we jumped to a different character when you would have got her reasoning for why she was there, if that makes sense. But we jumped to a different character and we're talking to them. And it's just a couple of things. It was probably like a one sentence explanation and I skim read the sentence or something, so I missed it. Is probably what happened. But yeah. But overall I'm really enjoying the plot, characters. I'm 140 pages from the end, or 120 pages from the end, so I should be finishing it over the next couple of days, and I'm really interested to see how the ending ramps up. I feel like one thing it might suffer from is if the ending doesn't ramp up enough, because at the moment we're still, I guess a little cliffhanger thing happened where I'm at, but I do think it hasn't quite built its way up yet, and we're running out of books, so I'm interested to see how the ending plays out. 7 Surrenders, which is by Ada Palmer, which is another book I'm currently reading. I'm just over halfway through this. I'm liking this better than the first one, which is exciting, and I really enjoyed the first one. I was scared the world building would be a little light and that I would be confused because I hadn't retained things from the first one. But honestly, everything is coming back so easily. Like, it's so vivid and descriptive that things are just like slotting into place. The first book I think suffered from like having too many characters, and it was a bit hard to tell from the start how they all played in until you kind of knew the end plot. This less so, because we're still following the same characters from book 1 and we kind of know how they all tie together now, and the role they're all kind of playing. This essentially follows like a utopian society. It's a bit of a, yeah, utopian dystopian, and in the society basically all kinds of nationalities and other world groups kind of got broken down, and instead we get hives, which are, you self-choose a hive to belong to that relates more to your values rather than where you were born. Everywhere in the world is like a 2-hour car ride, so ding ding, everything's like a 2-hour car ride away, so the idea of having sovereign borders has kind of entirely broken down, and the hives have held in place for 300 years, and it's all very kind of regimented, but we're primarily following the leaders in this society, like all the top dogs, and all the people with hidden power that like the general populace might not realize have power but are very powerful. And and essentially there was a triggering incident that set a whole bunch of things in motion. In the linear plot of the book, we're on like day 5 of the whole series since this like event. There's a lot happening all the time. It's a lot of political maneuvering and exerting power on each other, and a lot about essentially this one little inciting incident could cause the first war they've had in 300 years. But a lot of things were building up to that. It's very complicated, but I'm finding the second book less complicated than I expected it to be, especially considering that book 1's main problem for me was that it was confusing at times. This is not like that. Not as bad by any means. It is super dense to read, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just wordy, but it is intentionally so, and really helps with building the air and the atmosphere, and the the descriptions really make everything really vivid. And it's a lot about posturing, and posturing through language, and it's so pretentious, but I'm really enjoying it. My Bard Path read for the moment, because if you didn't know, I'm a bard in the book Junkie Trials. My Bard Path read is Space Opera, which is the third book in the Bard Path, by Catherine Invalente. I am really enjoying it as well. It's literally Eurovision in space, and it reads very similar to like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Very comedic in that kind of, again, is it a little bit pretentious? I love it. It's right up my alley. But if you hate the way Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is written, you'll probably hate how this is written. It is similar in the way it uses metaphor and simile, but I absolutely adore it. It's so funny. I'm laughing out loud all the time. And then, yeah, it's essentially Eurovision in space. There was a big war over what counts as a person, because everyone's sentience all over the world looks really different, like all over the universe looks really different. What counts as a person and what doesn't. And they came to the well-reasoned conclusion that the ability to perform and sing was what constituted like personhood. Because the cat can talk and like have all these other complex things that are kind of how we peoplehood now, but it's obviously been broken down and proven not to be super realistic. And so yeah, they hold a Eurovision regularly to see who classifies as a person. So Earth has been found and brought into the fold, but they've got to prove that they're people, not just like non-sentient life forms. So they've got a place not last in this Eurovision in space. And obviously they've got to meet like space expectations. So Earth's like, oh, we want to send this amazing singer, and the aliens are like, oh, that's awful. Why would you want to send them? Like, and I end up picking this like Eurotrash, like they're a British rock band, but very like, they had like one hit album and it was very psychedelic. Like the aliens wanted Yoko Ono, but Yoko Ono had died, so they couldn't get Yoko Ono, and so they're getting this band instead, and we're following them on their journey to intergalactic Eurovision. It's so good. I'm really enjoying it. I really am excited to see how the actual competition plays out, because we've just kind of got them so far. We're halfway through the book and they're settling in to, like, they've gotten to the location, or they're getting to the location of Eurovision, and they're working on writing their songs. So yeah, those are all the books I'm currently, oh, I am also currently reading The Alchemist by Michael Scott as my audiobook, but I'm literally 2% through it. I listened to like half an hour the other day at work, like last week. I'll probably read more of that today, but it's a reread. So it's about, it's like a middle grade young adult following if Nicholas, like assuming that Nicholas Flamel had never died, obviously, because he's got the Pulitzer's stone. and that he's living in modern day times, and John Dee is off. It's a thing. It's a Nicholas Flamel series. It's really good. I've read the first like 2.5, 3 maybe, but it was a long time ago, so I'm going back and rereading from the start, and I'm listening to them on audiobook. So I'm definitely going to try and read a little bit more of that today at work while I'm doing data entry stuff, but we'll see what I get through. Anyway, I will probably not have time to update till like end of the day today. That is a pop vinyl you're focusing on. So I will talk to you later, probably before I go to bed. This is going to be a super quick update because I have to rush to work, but it is the next day. I didn't update you last night because I got super busy and then I got super tired. But got home from work and we, well, I went from one work to the other work, finished there, came home, got changed into my corset bra and blazer real fast. We went to Rocky Horror Trivia, all dressed up. I was minimally dressed up, but I dressed up. Jessie and Brayden were in full on, like, Jessie was in burlesque and Brayden was in drag, and it was great. Sloppy drag, it was hilarious. And then we came 3rd at Rocky Horror Trivia, so that's exciting. Look at us go. Got mad at hecklers because personally I don't take trivia particularly seriously. If we do well, we do well, but like, who gives a fuck? And there was a table vehemently giving a fuck, and I was like, calm down. And then I got home from that, put on pajamas and went straight to work again for the night shift, and all I got read all day was 70 pages of space opera. So I'm on track for space opera. I'm gonna finish it today. I got only 80 pages left, but that's all I got read. I didn't get anything else read. I was hopeful to get some Seven Surrenders read, but I didn't get as much time during the day to read as I thought I would, and so it just didn't happen. I'm taking Deceptive and Space Opera to work because I'll be at both works till like 7:30, and I will get a few breaks in there, so we'll read during my breaks, and then I will update you when I get home. Maybe I'll have some packages, maybe I will have read some stuff, maybe I'll have finished Space Opera. So I ended up getting some packages. I was just going to message April and let her know. I'm pretty sure this is from G at Book Roast because I bought some of her bookmarks. Do you think that's what it is? Oh, I think it is. Yes! Did I get them all out? Is that all of them? Yes. These are the Magic Readathon bookmarks. So we have Silence, Newts in Progress, Twinskin's Dark Arts, Charms, Care of Magical Creatures, that's so cute, Astronomy, Arithmancy, Transfiguration, Potions, History of Magic, Muggle Studies, Herbology, Divination, and Ancient Runes. Oh my god, those are so lovely. Oh, they're so nice. Oh my gosh. And I also have a book depository package. I am expecting more than one, and I still could maybe have another one today. The afternoon post probably hasn't arrived, so maybe more than just this, but let's get this bad boy open. Ooh, this is a new colour. I'm loving these new book depository bookmarks, by the way. This is the first dark purple one I've gotten. And the books are Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Freedy. I just read King of Fools this month, and this was her debut. I've heard it's not quite as good, but I wanted to support her and I wanted to try it out. It's circus based, and it has a bi-main character, I think, though in a male-female relationship. And the other one in here, oh, it's so floppy, is the paperback of Wicked Fox. Oh, look, it's focusing on her face. Of course it is. This is the paperback of Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. Oh, I'm so excited about this. This is the
Korean inspired fantasy. She's a gumiho set in modern day Seoul. So really excited about this. April's gonna be so psyched. So I had some lunch. I'm sitting in bed settling down to read with my blankie on. I got cats around me. I do have to do dishes in a couple of hours, in the next like 3 hours. But today's goals reading wise are to read the last 80 pages of space opera and then the final 120 pages, I think, yeah, almost exactly 120 pages of Deceptive. So I'm going to start with 60 pages of Deceptive and then switch to, okay, that's just a random tree because it's windy outside, then switch to space opera and try and finish that. So I think I'll read the 60 pages of Deceptive, then go do the dishes and then come back to space opera. We'll see how far I get. I have work at 4:30, but I have until then to get cozy, and then I can after that read more later. So that's the plan. I know I can read 60 pages of Deceptive in about half an hour. That's my goal. I want to finish both those today, and then if I could also read some of Seven Surrenders, that would be fab. But it's dense. It's a dense babe, so we'll see how we go. So I'm about to go to bed. It's like 10:40 and I'm really sleepy and I just need to go to bed. But I wanted to update you because I just finished space opera. So spoiler alert, I didn't get around to finishing Deceptive as well. But I finished this guy just now. I really enjoyed it. It is exactly what it's advertised as. It's really like the musical version of Hitchhikers. It's messed up. You really have to like that style of humor. I do, so it works really well for me. And it's just, oh, so good. I think it's going to get between a 4 and a 5 stars, which is kind of my standard rating for the Hitchhikers series as well. So that seems reasonable. But you'll see in my wrap up what I actually rated it. It was just good. I only have 60 pages left of Deceptive, which technically I could read tonight, but it'd keep me up to like 11 and I'm tired. Like, I'm so tired. So I'm just gonna go to bed. So I only have 60 pages left of that. We're really close to done. And then I have like 160 pages of Seven Surrenders left. So, but we also have to start, this was the 3rd book in my Bard Path, and we have to start a new Bard Path book tomorrow. So the next book on my Bard Path is Crown of Feathers by Nikki Powell-Preto, and I will be picking that up tomorrow. I have work during the day and then yoga, but otherwise a mostly relaxing day. So I'm gonna tomorrow finish Deceptive and read the first 70 pages of Crown of Feathers, and then I'm also going to try and get some of Seven Surrenders read. I definitely want to finish Seven Surrenders this week. I would have loved to have finished it today, but I don't think it's going to happen. It'll definitely happen on the weekend if it doesn't happen Friday. Friday or Saturday. Let's aim for Friday, but I think it will be Saturday. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed because I'm so tired. Here's one girl doing acrobatics. And the other girl being naughty. Hey, are you naughty? Trixie, are you being naughty? Gotta do this update super quick because I've got to go to work. Alright, so it is Thursday morning. I have a meeting soon, so I gotta go to work. I didn't end up finishing Deceptive last night, which you would have seen from my update, but I did finish space opera. I didn't talk much about it because I feel like it's hard to explain, and really it's just a whole experience and you have to experience the whole thing. But yeah, same things apply as like I've basically been raving about it. If you like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you'll like it. If you like Eurovision, you'll like it. It's definitely just like Eurovision
in a style very similar to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's got that kind of way of describing alien concepts and weird things happening. It's very Hitchhikers. I did get described as something with Hitchhikers, didn't it? Yeah, as if Ziggy Stardust went on a blind date with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, then they got smashed and sang karaoke all night long. And that is correct. It has the heart of Douglas Adams and the soul of David Bowie. That's 100% what it is. Like, they're very apt with their descriptions. It's good. And I would consider it on par with like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, not other ones. Like, I find the first book in that series infinitely better than the rest. So Long and Thanks for All the Fish is good, but like the series either needs to be read as a whole or just read the first one, if that makes sense. And this stands up like equivalent to the first one. It's really good. There's no dull moments, I don't think, but other people might. I'm starting, and I've already packed up, ready to go, but I have the dust jacket here. Crown of Feathers by Nikki Powell-Pretto today. I'm going to be reading this over the next week, and this is the second to last book on my bard path, so then I'll only have the Bookie Grail to go once I finish that. I'm going to finish another dust jacket, Deceptive, today, though I could leave that till the end of the day because I know I can read it in half an hour before bed, so I'm going to wait till right at the end of the day. And I also want to try and read some of Seven Surrenders. This Baby Dance, we've talked about it. I have an 80-page section marked out because I have 160 pages left in this. And the way the chapters go, it makes sense to go 80 and 80. But I am pretty confident I won't get through 80 pages tonight. So it might be that 80 over today and tomorrow, and then the second 80 on Saturday. Maybe. I don't think after I finish Deceptive I'll add in another book until I finish this, and then I'll start the final 2 physical reads that aren't part of my bard path after I finish this bad boy. And that's The Fire Eternal by Crystal Lacey, which is for A Draconic Isle, and Golden Sun by Pierce Brown, which I think was for like Randomize Your TBR or something. I can't remember what one that is, but it was part of my 5-star prediction sequels, so there's that as well. But yeah, I think I'll finish this before I start either of those. So after I finish Deceptive, I'll be focusing on this, but I'm going to be reading 70 pages of Crown of Feathers every day until it's done, so wish me luck. I still am on track to finish like half a week before the end of the month, which is good because I need a head start on my notes. Alright, I'm going to go to work. I'll talk to you later.
Right, so I just got home to another package. Let's get this bad boy open. This feels like 2 things. It is 2 things. These are the ones that I had expected a while ago, so I'm glad they arrived. So we have Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. This is a magical realism, dark contemporary, like heavy contemporary, I guess, heavy themes. It's so pretty. Oh, it's like iridescent a little. Oh, that's lovely. And the other one is Stronger Than a Bronze Dragon by Mary Fan. Oh, that looks so cool. Oh! I'm pretty sure this is Chinese inspired fantasy. That cover is gorgeous and it's got a velvet feel. Oh, love that. And a blue bookmark. That's not a new one. I've had that one before. So, I'm home. If you didn't realise from my shot of my package. Oh, that sounded suggestive. I am a whole chapter, which is about 10 pages into Crown of Feathers. So I'm going to read the next 60 pages now. I've got yoga at 7:15. So, 6:15, 7:15. Yeah, 7:15. So I'm going to sit and read that till then. If I somehow finish this in that section, I'll pick up 7 Surrenders. I'm going to leave the last 60 pages of Deceptive till right at the end of the night because I know I can rush through it. Not rush through it, but like slam through it. Right before bed because it's fast paced and yeah, really readable. So I'm going to work on Crown of Feathers for now, and I'll try and also get a bit of Seven Surrenders read. It's not an exciting update. Nothing is happening in my life. I'm so boring. Like, the most exciting thing to happen to me is those packages, I swear. So Summer of Salt by Katrina Lenner is been my cat just did the most awkward jump, has been being raved about lately. And Stronger Than a Bronze Dragon, literally all I know is it's a new release Chinese inspired fantasy, own voices, and it looks gorgeous. Like, I know very little, but I'm gonna read it very soon. Okay, so I'm like a couple more pages into Crown of Feathers, and like, this isn't a huge disc, because like, it's fine, but the info dumping just in this first chapter, which I'm like, it's alright to info dump at the start, I feel like it is too much, mainly because a lot of it's like off-screen plot points of like the world building and what happened to get these characters to the point they're at, but there's a lot of it. Like, we are jumping in really in the middle. You could have started this story 10 years earlier, and a lot of interesting stuff would have happened. In this like 15 pages, we've learnt that there was a big war of magic users against non-magic users. There was like 2 rulers, and they split up the country into one big area and one smaller area, and the magic users were kind of downtrodden, and they all went into hiding, and her and her sister were living with their grandmother. Their parents had died, I think. So that's a problem. They go really quick. Yeah, their parents had died in the war. They were looking after their grandmother was looking after them. And then when they were like 10, she got beaten to death in a mob. And they escaped and ran, and then were just like fending for themselves in the Empire for a while, and then were trying to get into this smaller little bit where magic was a little bit more allowed. And all of this leads to them getting some phoenix eggs, which they don't even get on page. They've already got them by the time you see them on page. And they're trying to hatch them. There's so much backstory, and I'm sure there's going to be more. Like, we're not far enough in for that to be it. And I'm just like, that could be 2 books of a series on its own. Like, you could have started further back and had this series be bigger in scope, if that makes sense at all. Like, that all seems interesting. I want to read that. Okay, a continuity error I've just found. So we say that that phoenixes, when they're in their eggs before they hatch, they have to have a death to give them life. So if they're not incubated in the ashes of the dead, they're like burned bones. It'll draw life from elsewhere, including their own brothers or sisters, right? Like egg mates, cool, like litter mates, like other hatchlings, yeah. Except then we also say, in the wild, mothers had to die in order to give life to their young, and only birthed a single egg at a time. How? And then it also talks about they figured out that you could use the bones to feed it and get more, like thrive in larger numbers. But if for every egg the mother, I am confusion. How do we get a growing group? How do we even get met? Like, how does this not shrink exponentially? I don't understand, because we'd only have, like, theoretically, unless they're all phoenixes are ladies, are all phoenixes ladies, and then you keep, in the wild, keep a steady population, or does our population constantly halve every generation? I don't. Genetics. Alright. So I just finished Deceptive. I need to moisturize my chapped lips, man. It was good. I really liked it. I think I liked it better than I remember liking book 1. But that was a while ago, so not confident. we follow Sierra, Devon, and Daniel. Sierra is an illusionist, which means she can like hide things, change what they look like, etc, etc. Devon is an eidos, which means he has like an eidetic memory. And Daniel, can't remember what his is called, but he can essentially like sense the future a little, to kind of like predict what's going to happen. And it's about criminal gangs and the way the government works in this world and all that kind of stuff. It's complicated and you kind of need to read the first book to get a basic understanding of what's happening in the world, but to me this series is like a series of standalone stories following the same set of characters, if that makes sense. So we got character development for the series as a whole, but also the plot of this one wrapped up really well, and I remember the first one wrapping up pretty well as well. So I can definitely see there being more books in the future, which is cool, but the ending is still satisfying, if that makes sense. I like all the characters, they're all really interesting. I think the plot maybe felt a little minimal, like it could have had a few more twists and turns, if that makes sense, but it was still really good. I really enjoyed it. So it is now done. I can't remember what challenges that was for, but I'll let you know in my wrap up shortly. And if you check out my Instagram, I've been putting the challenges and like the books and what that I've read and what challenges they fulfill on Instagram. So if you're wanting that kind of info, check out my Instagram. And I should mention, if you ever want to see full reviews from me, I do a breakdown review of every book I've read at least this year, and I will probably continue next year on Goodreads. So I figure out my ratings. My Goodreads will be linked down below. So I figure out my rating by kind of like dividing a book between characters, plot, world building, and writing style, and I give each section a ranking out of 5 and then average it out. So that's how I review books, and I write a little segment about each of those components. Sometimes it's coherent, sometimes it's really not, but if you're interested in that style of reviewing, and often I feel like I don't ramble as much in a written review, go check out my Goodreads. But yeah, so I'm not sure what I'll put in my written review for Deceptive yet, but I have some ideas. I think it will be like a 4-star read. I really enjoyed it, but I don't think it's 5-star material, but it was really good. I read like 5 pages of 7 Surrenders this afternoon before yoga, and I haven't read anything more from that, but I will continue on that tomorrow. Yeah. Alright. Uneventful day was uneventful, but good night. So I'm about to go into work. We have a seminar today. This t-shirt's like high up. A workshop, sorry. A stats workshop. So I'm in comfy clothes because I don't have to dress up. I have to get going though. I have to be there to attend. Oh, why are my bookshelves more in focus than me? So I have read like 20 pages, probably not even that. Hardly any of this morning, like a chapter. I finished a chapter that I started yesterday. But I've packed Crown of Feathers to come with me in case I get any like vaguely free time. So I do have that with me. Hopefully the workshop will finish early because far out, 10 till 4 is a long workshop. But I then have work at 4:30. So hopefully there's a bit of a gap in there that I can get some reading done. Hopefully some packages arrive today. We'll see. It's Friday, if I didn't specify. I realized I don't think I said it's Friday. Package. It is Friday afternoon. Just got back from the workshop. It was tedious. Was expected. I find workshops super tedious, especially when they're all day ones. But useful information, I guess. And I have this package. Oh, I wasn't sure which one I was expecting, but I'm glad it's this one. This is, oh, it's an interesting cover. Is this self-pubbed? It might be. This is A Lesson in Thorns by Sierra Simone, otherwise known as the Boob Book on Twitter. I'm so excited for this. Apparently it's queer polyamory, and we're all down for that. And it's very dirty, apparently. Sexy, dirty. I'm very excited to read this. I'm not sure when exactly I'll get to it, but I'm very, very keen. I've one other thing I'm vaguely expecting to mail. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, I remember. Alright, so yes, I'm very excited about this. This came out earlier in the year, and the sequel comes out in September, something like that. So I'm definitely excited to read this. Oh my god, I can't like keep the camera in frame. Oh my god. So yes, A Lesson in Thorns is now on my physical TBR, and I'm really excited about it. Oh, that's bright. Let's get rid of that. So I'm reading Crown of Feathers by Nikki Paparetto. The cats are fighting beside me. I cannot stay in focus today. What is the problem? Okay, the camera's just not wanting to focus on my face today. Is it a me thing? Is it a net thing? Who the frick knows? So I'm reading this book. The first 70 pages I thought were a bit meh. I was saying yesterday how I thought there was a lot of info dumping in the world building in the first 70 pages, and that I thought a lot of things that were dumped about the plot, like, or about the world, could have been the plot of its own story, if that makes sense. But things are really starting to kick up, even just like 8 pages into this next section. It does help that we started off with a pair of sisters, and one's like the sister we follow, the good sister, I guess, and the other one is like the spawn of Satan. Like, honestly, she's the worst human being and I hate her. And we're now seeing them split apart, and we're going to get to see the one we're following grow a lot more, I think. Sorry, a cat was giving me a funny look. Yeah, I see you. And we're about to start. The next chapter I'm about to read is from a different perspective, so I'm interested to see how that fits in. We currently have 2 characters, Veronica and Sev, and I liked Sev even in that first 70 pages, but Veronica I thought was a bit one-dimensional and overshadowed by her sister, but hopefully now that she'll be free from that, we'll see a lot more growth from her. We'll see. And then this chapter's from Tristan. I don't know who Tristan is, but I'm keen to find out. Oh no, Tristan's Phoenix's name is Rex. I have a personal vendetta. My grandfather's name is Rex. It's an old man name. I'm real sorry, but I can't imagine him as a baby or a little kid being called Rex. I can't imagine my grandfather being called Rex other than as an old man. I know to call a phoenix Rex. Just, it's a weird name. Okay, I'm about to head to work, but I did just finish the 70 pages of Crown of Feathers. This was a better 70 pages than the first 70 pages, and I think it's been settling into the plot a little more. I still feel like I don't have much commentary on it yet, but I feel like the info dumping really settled down in this section. It wasn't quite so in your face. I'm gonna work on 7 Surrenders tonight. Taking it to work with me. We'll see how much I get read there, and then I'll work on it tonight. I'm gonna try and tomorrow finish 7 Surrenders, and maybe try and almost get 2 sections of Crown of Feathers read. I also would like to start Fire Eternal and Golden Sun, which are my 2 non-Bard Path reads that are left. But we'll see how we go. So I'm in bed. I just had some dinner. What did I have? KFC. I'm home alone tonight. I've been mucking around on Twitter, and I finally got into bed. It's like 9 o'clock. Still home alone for the next little bit. And I'm going to work on 7 Surrenders and try and get as much of this read tonight before I die of tiredness. as I can because I really want to finish this tomorrow. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know, it could go either way, who knows. Why does that, it always wants to focus on those books or the pop vinyls. Like, really, I'm right here. I am a face. I am a face. So it's 10:30, I'm about to go to bed, but I did end up reading 60 pages of Seven Surrenders, which means I have about exactly 100 pages to go. So I'm definitely going to be able to finish that tomorrow. So that's where we're at. I'm definitely finding this book 2 more readable than book 1 was, but still is super dense. So I feel like each page, and it is pretty small font, so each page takes a while. But yeah, we're gonna finish that tomorrow. We're gonna read Onwards and Crown of Feathers tomorrow, and I'm also gonna try and read a section of The Fire Eternal and Golden Sun tomorrow. I'm being ambitious, but let's see how we do. Anyway, happy Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow. So I just filmed my Newts TBR, if you can't tell by the fact I'm wearing my Hufflepuff scarf. That took me ages, and I had to stop in the middle to charge my camera battery. But I'm going to pack up all the mess. I'm putting my TBR up on my shelf, which I don't normally do. I normally have it down here by my bedside table, so my TBR goes. But I had to do a rearrange because I'm going to put it on this shelf and this shelf because there's just so many that it's not going to fit. Obviously, I don't intend to read a book for every single challenge. I've got one assigned, but I don't think I'll get to them all, but we'll see how we go. I have lunch on the way, but I'm going to continue working on Seven Surrenders this morning and hopefully finish it. So I just finished. It's like 4 p.m. Oh, even 4:23 p.m. and I just finished Seven Surrenders by Ada Palmer. Literally all I've done today is read this, there's 100 pages left of this, and film my Newts TBR. That's all I've done all day, but it's done. I finished it. I have opinions, but I'm gonna really struggle to rate this. I did struggle to rate the first one as well, and it comes down a lot to like artistry versus enjoyment, if that makes sense. Though I do reckon I enjoyed this more than book 1, only because book 1 was a lot of world building, and the world is huge, so there was a lot to do, and sometimes got bogged down in that, whereas this is less crazy heavy on the world building and more about the plot, if that makes sense. But I really enjoyed it. So, like in a thought-provoking way, like it provoked some thoughts. I am gonna settle on it. Like, it's so, like, this second book is so spoilery for book 1, so I can't like chat to you about details, but yeah, I'm going to work on Crown of Feathers next and read today's 70 pages of that. And we're also going to try and read 60 pages of The Fire Eternal and Golden Sun today. Is it achievable? I don't know. But Seven Surrenders is now done. Checkboxed. Oh, I was going to say what it went, like what challenges are covered, because it served challenges both for Medievalathon and the Bookie Trials. So for the Book Junkie Trials, it is for the Drowning Deep, something with rich world building. Correct. And for Medievalathon, it went for Daggers, which is something featuring assassins. Also more correct than I predicted. I remembered it having some, the first book having some assassin-y elements. This heavily featured assassins, just not in perhaps a fantasy medieval concept, but it still very much featured assassins. And so now I'm gonna crack on with Crown of Feathers. So I said I was going to work on Crown of Feathers, didn't I? Well, instead I read 60 pages of The Fire Eternal, which is one of my next reads. So now that Seven Surrenders is done, I'm starting The Fire Eternal and Golden Sun. I still need to read that 70 pages of Crown of Feathers, but I've zoomed through 60 pages of the Fire Eternal. So that was going to happen at some point today, so it might as well have happened now, right? I'm not meaning to put off Crown of Feathers, but it just is not grabbing my attention as much as I would like. It's very just okay, but we'll keep going with it. I'll try and do a bit now before we go to dinner. So it's 1:11 a.m. Saturday night, Sunday morning. I just finished the 60 pages of Golden Sun. I'm enjoying this. It's good. Honestly, I wish there were more women, but isn't that everyone's critique about this series? Is just like, where are the women at, buddy? But I am really enjoying it, and I'm really enjoying that it's really floppy. I do think it kind of time jumped a bit from book 1, and I wonder if all the books in this series do that. If anyone knows that, let me know. But I'm interested to see where the plot of this one goes. And I did also finish my 70 pages of Crown of Feathers today. I feel like the plot of that's kind of getting going too, which is good. Alright, I'm gonna go to bed and I'll see you tomorrow. Hi, so it is, what time is it? 10:38. I'm about to go to bed. I've honestly read nothing all day today, which I'm kind of glad of. It's kind of giving me a little refresher and a break, having a day not reading. I was at work till about 11:30, got home, we did some housework, I ate breakfast, lunch, brunch. Then we went into town and got the DVD of the 1998 stage show of Cats, and we were watching Cats because after all this drama with the Cats trailer, Jessie wanted me to actually watch the movie or the stage production. So we did that today, which meant we had to go get it and then get home, and then we watched it. By the time I'd done that and a bit of housework, I had to go back to work for a couple of hours, and then when we got home, when I got home, I just ate dinner, we watched a couple of episodes of Glee and some YouTube videos, and this is literally now and I'm in bed. So I just haven't had time really to read, and also I have a bit of a headache now. Like I could read for half an hour now, but I have a bit of a headache, so I think I'm just gonna go to bed. So I wanted to wrap up this video because it's the end of the week. We're starting a new vlog next week. It is the reading rush next week, but I'm very low-key participating. I'm not really aiming to complete any of the challenges. Just if any of them conveniently happen, I'll tick them off. But I'll be paying attention to everyone's vlogs and things. I'm excited to see what people come up with. But I'm really bad at week-long readathons. I much prefer monthly readathons. They work better for me. So I just am not worrying about it too much. So I haven't filmed like a dedicated TBR or anything because I'm really not fussed about it. There are 5 things left for me to read before the end of the month, and we have another week and a half. And I'm currently in the middle of 4 of them, and one of them is short. So I'm currently in the middle of Golden Sun. I'm like 60 pages into this by Pierce Brown, just a sequel to Red Rising. I'm halfway-ish through Crown of Feathers by Nikki Powell-Proto. I'm 60 pages into The Fire Eternal by Krista Lacey, and I am like halfway through on audiobook The Alchemist by Michael Scott, which is my current audiobook. The only thing other than that is Stardust by Neil Gaiman, which is the Bookie Grail. So I'm very confident I can finish all these before the end of the month. Hoping to finish with a little time to spare to start early on my Newts reads for August. But we'll see what happens. I'm trying to give myself as much time for my Newts reads as I can, so finishing early would be good. But who knows what the week will foretell? We will see. I'm going to work on, gonna take Crown of Feathers to work with me tomorrow, but I'll talk to you about that in my vlog tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for sticking around for this vlog. I don't think it was very interesting. I don't think we really did anything, but we finished 3 books. We finished Space Opera, Deceptive, and 7 Surrenders. And I think I decently enjoyed them all. So I haven't finalized my ratings for them, but you can check those out in my wrap up. And I will see you soon with another video. Actually, if everything goes according to plan, you'll be seeing my Newts TBR like tomorrow in your time. So keep an eye out for that. I filmed it. I'll probably upload it the day after I edit and upload this. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you soon with another video.